And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As a lot of people have been up for quite some time now, severe weather moved into the area this morning around 3:30 a.m., especially Clark County and the immediate area, waking a lot of people up. As we watch this, there will probably be through mid-morning a risk of tornadic activities in the southern portion of Mississippi. As we watch this, so far we haven't had any tornado warnings this morning. Several thunderstorm warnings, but no tornadoes. We have watched, we are in a tornado watch until 11 a.m. For the entire area here in East Mississippi back to Jackson. We've watched that very carefully. We're going to look at radar here in a second and look at thunderstorms. Now, the next big question I've been asked is about Lauderdale County schools. I have not received official word on anything. So at this point, it goes as scheduled. No changes. They're examining the weather this morning, and we'll make a call on that very shortly at 6:30. So school buses will start having a roll here in a few moments, but no word on that. So I take that as everything is as scheduled. We'll go over the closings and delays that we know of here in a moment. And again, if you have one that we do not have, send to us, inbox it, or email it to us at ScottyRay1969 at AOL. Pretty simple to remember. It's an old email address, and yes, I still get jokes on that every day. Just can't help it. Why change now? I got other ones, but I can't remember them. How are you? I hope well. Weather is our main concern and your safety as we begin this Tuesday morning. We'll also get into the threat of what's coming tomorrow. It's downplayed a little bit for the Mississippi side and increased to the east of us for tomorrow. Let's look at radar of where we are this morning right now. Let's pull that up so you'll know where you are in relation to these storms. Now, all of this purple that you see on radar, and let me turn off radar so you'll see this. This is what we've seen so far this morning with hail. And as you look across here in Clark County, got a lot, but boy, into the edge of Alabama, look at all of that. I've seen pictures this morning. I've got one on my Facebook page of nearly 2 inches there that fell in the Brandon area earlier this morning. Got reports a minute ago of also flooding in the Byram area in Jackson. They've issued a severe weather statement for the airport on landings and takeoffs. We've put there 30 knots. Heavy wind this morning. Now, as we look at radar, we've got just light shower activity in Lauderdale County and Kemper, and also in Clark. We've got a little bit building down here at Shibuda, but let's go just to the northwest of here. Here's Newton. Let's step into Neshoba County and look at what we've got going on this morning. Now, there are no warnings right here as of yet. We're watching this stuff back here. This had a lot of wind with it a while ago coming out of the Carthage area, making its way across here. Edinburgh, pouring cats and dogs as they go to speak there on Highway 16. If you're coming up or live anywhere in that area there, as you come down Highway 16 near Pearl River Resort, it'll give you a break right about where the casino is. It'll lighten up a little bit. But you folks at the Neshoba County Fairground area, Dixon community, y'all are going to get a lot of rain here in a minute. Now, right now, north of Philadelphia, we've got a lot of rain. Arlington, right there at the Baptist Church, pouring down rain this morning. Also out here just north of Burnside State Park, we got a lot of rain. Now, this carries right on up into Winston County as we follow this Highway 25 as you go into Louisville there. Knox Pater, you got rain all around you. You're going to get wet in a minute. But heavier here out by Shiloh Baptist Church, and when you get up here by J&S Food and on into where Lake Teocata is and out by the jail, it picks up rain activity there on Highway 25. Just a bunch. 2-lane roads. Y'all be careful if you've got to go in that area. We look at Mississippi State. No warnings, but boy, it sure is raining up here around State this morning. West Point and Columbus, if you live in those areas. As we look at our friends in Noxubee County, we've got a lot of folks that watch in the Noxubee County area. You're good right now. All the rain is out to the west of you, but all of this that's going on over here will make its way. Now, right there, this little green box that we've got in Neshoba County, that's a flood warning until 7 o'clock. That's going to be the Pearl River in those areas there. Now, let's go back here. We still have this warning here. Look at that little scooter. We'll look at that in a second. We still, at this point, have a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:30. 55 minutes remaining on this, and this includes... let's see, there's several areas that we've got. Smith, Scott, southeastern Hines, and southeastern Madison counties are still under a severe thunderstorm warning. And as always, as these fire off over here, they make their way into the Newton area in Neshoba County. So y'all be ready in these areas there that this will come. It'll be more rain with this. Now, let's go just to the southeast of Brandon here. We're starting to pick up here on this wind. Here's Brandon. This is I-20 right here. Let's go just south of here and take a look what we have here. This is Lewis Wilson Drive. We come down. Here's Crossroads area. This is I-20. Let's go due south. This is the Rufus community. We've got some winds running at about 68 miles an hour and another one about the same. Now, these are rating on a scale of 1 to 10. Could this become more? That's a 4-6. Most likely it will remain these shear winds as it makes its way towards Smith County this morning here. We'll watch it closely as we look south here. Hazelhurst, y'all are getting a lot of rain and some storms that'll make its way to the east here toward the Laurel Hattiesburg area. This is the worst that we've got right now on radar this morning. Here's Hattiesburg, just to the east of all of our friends that are watching down in this area. This has got potential to be very nasty. Richton, Mississippi, y'all be aware of this. This is a thunderstorm warning until 7:15. So it's a little time remaining on this, but it's got some packing some punches in with this. 92 mile an hour shear winds. On that scale of 1 to 10, this is rated at a 4. But nonetheless, it's going to be some power outages, all of this here, limb damage in this area down around Richton, Mississippi. And as you'll look at this on the map, which way it will go over here in this direction here to the east side of the county and over toward Laurel Hattiesburg. So heads up, due east of there. Let's go back on that Richton. Just look at some of these 58 mile an hour shear winds, 70, right at 70, and we got 68 there. This will make its way toward the Brewer community, and then eventually on here to the rural route here near Peave and Sand Hill. It makes its way across here. Here's Smithtown. Y'all be ready. This is all due south. This is the area that the National Weather Service is telling us later on right in here that could potentially later today, before lunch, see some tornadic activity. They may extend some things down here. We'll watch this. So far, nothing has fired off here. Again, we are under a tornado watch. Now, we go, as you'll look at this Tuscaloosa area here, let's go over here. Look at all of that hail that has fell off on our friends in Alabama. Here is a cluster, and this is headed toward the Montgomery. I know this is a little due east of us, but nonetheless, it's worth bringing up here. Here's Selma. Look at this cluster of storms that's due south of there that will make its way toward Montgomery. So y'all be careful in those areas. There's 70, and that's roughly about what we've been showing in Mississippi. And a lot of hail involved with that. That's the overview of what we've got. As radar updates this morning, we want to watch this closely. This is pretty close to home. We're picking up more wind speeds right here to the southeast of Brandon. Y'all see this? This is going to be headed toward the Forest community, and then will make its way into Newton. We want to watch these storms here closely. We've got 3 different cells here. It's 5 different ones that are firing off these leading edges of the storm. But we've got some shear winds that are going to be making its way right across there. This is in Rufus, Mississippi. We're looking at right now, let's see what we got on that. 81 mile an hour shear winds with this. Another 81 mile an hour, and this one is running at 70, the lag behind. But the front end of this storm, pretty serious. And then you look at this. This is Forest. This is the timeline 1 hour from now. It'll be on the other side of Forest as we update there. It's a lot of wind with this. So Polkville, these areas west. Here's Montrose. We go back west of here, Puckett, Mississippi. These areas, that's not really that far from the Meridian area if you look at the big scale. 2 counties over as we see this. All of this will make its way toward our area eventually. It's not here yet, but just keep in mind, we're at 6:40 this morning, and this will put it probably hour and a half or so away from us. Should give us plenty of time to get the school buses rolling and loaded up. That's where we are on that. Now, let's quickly go back up here, and as I mentioned, of the closings that I do have at this point. Let me go over what we have and what we know. And again, if you've got one that I'm not aware of, please pass along to us. Angie Lewis asked us about Lauderdale County. To my knowledge, let me check my email here just to make sure that they didn't send something since we last went on the air here. Just double checking. East Central Community College. Let's pull this up where you can read this along with me. There we go. All right. Okay. I'll put that on there for you. All right. So far, no other messages from Lauderdale County, so it should remain the same. East Central Community College is delayed opening this morning, is what they're going to have. Patrician Academy is closed today. Demopolis, they've got remote learning today. Sumter County Schools, and we just got a warning. We'll check that in just a second. Sumter County School District, virtual learning. Jumpstart Coffee is going to be closed today, along with Kemper Academy will have a delayed opening. Choctaw County Public Schools will have a virtual learning day. That's in the edge of Alabama there. Kemper County School District is delayed till 10 a.m. and still Lauderdale County still reporting that they're looking into it. We'll make a call on that very shortly. And again, we have not gotten word, so we do take that as a way of saying that everything is still going. I just got it from Al here that there's a delayed opening on Al's Garden and Gift. They will open at 9 a.m. this morning. So we'll add that to the list here in a moment. Now, let's go back and find out what we just got from the National Weather Service that fired off. Could possibly be Neshoba County. Let's see. Let's see here. This is going to be... It's going to go until 7:30. Let me pull this up where you can see here. The National Weather Service has issued southeastern Hinds and Madison counties as we go down and look at this. And let's update once again what we've got from the National Weather Service here. It's slowly making its way here. This is these thunderstorms that we looked at. As we come across, here's Newton County. This is going to be Scott County and also Jasper County. Scott County and Smith County. Here's Jasper. This is Smith. These areas that we were watching just a few moments ago is very wet. I had a question about Quitman School District. All of that area, they have not announced either. They have not given us any official word. All right, let's zoom in and look at this of what the National Weather Service tells us, and then we'll look at these wind shears that are associated with this storm. As we look at this, the National Weather Service tells us thunderstorm warning this morning until 7:30, 60-mile-an-hour gust involved with this. Now, as we zoom in on this a little bit closer, and let's look at some locations that you will recognize on here. Here's Meridian if you're looking at the big picture, and we follow I-20 across. When you come into Scott County, the welcome centers, these are the areas that this storm is going to be headed toward, and then on into Newton County here in the next little bit. Here's Polkville, and this is just coming into Scott County, these winds. We've got really 5 systems there. Here's Cooperville. As we look at this, our shear winds are showing 68 there. We're showing 68 also there, and also 91-mile-an-hour shear winds on this. Now, this will be one of those that can take down power lines. All these trees, these gusts that come through, they'll snap them, and we've had a lot of rain in that area. Another 68-mile-an-hour shear wind. Let's look at where this storm is headed. This is right on top of Rufus and Polkville. This is where we're at right now. This should make it to Forest in the next 23 minutes. So if you're anywhere in the Forest community, expect this right around 7 o'clock. And what that means, if you'll look at this line, this means it will make its way right on to Newton County. So this gives you a few minutes for Newton County to be aware of what's coming. Also, Smith County. Y'all be aware this will make its way and then on into Jasper and then toward Lauderdale County. So this gives you roughly a timeline of what's coming. A lot of wind with this. And again, these are only thunderstorm warnings that have been issued. Nothing more serious at this point as we look at this. Slowly making its way across. Now let's do this so everybody kind of sees the entire state. Let's back this out. Let's turn off radar. Make absolutely sure that we don't have anything else that we don't know about. All of this yellow area is a tornado watch until 11 o'clock for all of our area. And even as you look over to Alabama, they don't have any tornado warnings. All of these are thunderstorm warnings. But Mississippi right now, we've got 4 different ones occurring here, all of the Jackson line and due south as it makes its way toward the Meridian area as we look at this. The Hattiesburg area, that's pretty serious there that we looked at a while ago. A lot of wind involved with this. Also, this is a lot of wind with this as it makes its way. Here's Newton as we come down and look at Jasper and Smith County. Northern Smith County is in this portion right here with this wind. And all of this area here. All of this is where we've had this hail come across here. Now, Meridian, as you look at this so far, has not been pelted by it very heavy. But boy, if you had a car sitting outside there in the northern portion around Quitman, northeasterly through the Snail community, you could have a little hail damage as we look at that this morning. As we turn back on radar to give you that bird's eye view of what we got. There we are. That's a lot of rain. Now, I urge each and every one of you as you drive to be extremely careful in all of this. Let me go down and double check something here. Thunderstorm warning, that nothing has changed there. Rankin County, making sure that they hadn't updated something that we don't know about. And we want to be absolutely sure that you've got the latest information on what happens here and across the entire state. We're getting thunderstorm warning as we just looked at that, and it's saying that what we just looked at from the National Weather Service is saying that this has the potential for a lot of damage with this wind. 70-mile-an-hour gust in with these there in Scott County. Let's go back over here and look at this, and that just follows right along with what we've been looking at on radar. This is although straight line winds are very dangerous, and that's what we're looking at right here. And let's turn on our location so you'll know. Forest, that's going to be right up here on the interstate. Of course, you're going to have right there where Walmart is and Wendy's in that area there, and you got that storm headed in that direction. Right now at the county line at Smith County, due north of Polkville, you've got a lot of wind in that area. 68-mile-an-hour shear winds, two different cells right there. And again, both of those, that's how these circles, anytime that you see them on my radar, that encompasses about a mile. So whenever this pops up on radar, and you'll probably see this in our area as it moves on across here in the next little bit. But these areas here, watch that. If you live here, Smith County, if you're in Scott County, don't stay in rooms that have trees that overhang your home. Now let's go over here and look at Clark County just a moment here, as we've got light showers, and we'll go back up here and look. As we go down into Clark County here, let's pick up here at Jay's Taxidermy as we come across right here at Highway 18. This is Harmony. This stretch in between here that'll come out just due south of the co-op there. This rain has moved across. Look at the hail that come across there. Now, we go right here to Cooper's Chapel. This is going to be due east of Archusa. This comes all the way across just north now of where the landfill is, and it's going to cut across. We just got another warning that was issued. Manassas, County Road 511. Look at all that rain that we've got through here. Now, there's no warning. Now, you even go out right here. This is going to be at Thieville, there on Highway 511, where the volunteer fire department is. Pouring down rain for y'all in Clark County. Now, again, we don't have a warning there. This should give us enough time. Let me update and see what we've got now as we pull this up. Well, we now have a tornado warning. These winds have jumped on up. This is our first of the morning. All right, let me do a hard reboot. There we go. Tornado warning. As we pull this up, and let's see how long this is going to last. This is going to be until 7:15. The National Weather Service has issued for Smith and also Scott County a tornado warning until 7:15 this morning. A few moments ago, radar indicated a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado that was located near Polsky, or 8 miles south of Morton, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. This could produce flying debris, dangerous. If you're caught outside with this, seek shelter. If you're in a mobile home, get out now. As we've talked about having your weather plans, know where you are going. Do not drive in this stuff. If you see a tornado, you need to seek shelter immediately. Don't get out and try to outrun these things. Get to your safe place that you can. Again, if you're in these areas here, especially as we come across here near Forest, the Scott County line here, seek shelter immediately. Get to your storm shelter, wherever that is. Now let's zoom in and take a look at what we're following here. We've got three different cells, and we've talked about these shear winds already. 81-mile-an-hour shear winds here. We see another one at 81, and we see this also at 70. The leading edge of this will be near Homewood within 10 minutes. It will make Buckleytown within 19 minutes, Ball Hill within 20 minutes. Now, these are the areas, as you look at this, lit up here all around here. Here's Forest. This is moving northeasterly. What does this tell us? Newton County, y'all be prepared. It is heading for you. Although there is no tornado warning for Newton County at this point, this is where it's headed. This gives you plenty of time to be ready for what's coming. If you're here on the western side of Newton County, if you live here, get your plan together, know what you're going to do. Well, watch this. As you see this box here, this is Morton. It's due south of Morton. Comes across just due north of Polkville, right up to the county line. As we come up on Newton, this is Scott County is where we are, and this butts up against here, Decatur, these areas here. If you follow that right across, that's where it will head. Now, there's also thunderstorm warnings down here in Morton and Forest and all this area. But this tornado warning, again, will follow us until 7:15. So we've got 25 minutes remaining on that. Now, as we look at this, Neshoba County, y'all are getting a lot of rain right now, and you've got thunderstorms that are moving out of Carthage. That's going to be moving across this area. If you're traveling 15 out of Decatur, once you get past Union and you go up through here, it's going to get heavy before you reach Philadelphia. Now, with that being said, if you've got to leave Decatur and go toward Philadelphia, this is going to be a pretty rough drive for you within the next hour. If you can wait it out, I would suggest that. This is a dangerous storm that's to our west, and it will come across. Again, it's no threat to Lauderdale County and no threat to Newton as of yet, but it will make its way there. Kemper County, you're looking good. This is a bird's eye view of what we've got so far. The likelihood that we will get more with this is very strong. But as you'll see, let's look at the good news on this. As you look back here, look how great that looks. After this goes through, we'll be in good shape. Now let's look south of here. We've got another tornado. This is a thunderstorm warning with a flash flood warning that's darker red. But within this storm, let's look at this Highway 84. This could quickly turn into something else that's uglier. The McGee area, the storm's going to be with you within 23 minutes. And again, this has the high probability to turn into something very, very nasty here. If you live in these areas here south of here, and as you'll look, see how the storm moves across? This will make its way on here in the next little bit. This is two lines of storms that we want to pay very close attention as we look at this, of the potential for this to turn into something else as we talk about scales of 1 to 10, what this could do. Both of these are sitting on that scale of a 1 to 10 at a 7.7, which means it is high probability it could turn into something more. We'll watch it. It has not been issued by the National Weather Service yet. Let's go here east of Hattiesburg. This is also very nasty down here. This is on that scale of a 7 here south of Waynesboro. We watch. The only tornado warning that we have right now in the state would be right there. We got severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado watches everywhere. But Scott County holds our tornado warning right now as it moves across I-20. And again, Newton, you will be joining this storm here in the next little bit. They have not, again, let me stress, have not issued a warning for Newton County yet. It could. We know that there's a lot of heavy rain headed that way. Eastern Clark County, y'all look at this now. Y'all got rain here. It's kind of where we are, what we're watching with weather so far. We'll be back. We'll interrupt and come back live should this develop into something more here in the next little bit. We'll forego some of the news headlines this morning and save that for the morning show here in a little bit so that you'll be well aware of what's happening. So a good chance we'll be covering weather a large portion of this. Again, we're on top of this for you, watching very closely. We'll let you know if anything else comes of this. Let me check here to make sure I haven't gotten any inboxes. And let me show you this. This is the hail that fell earlier. That was Brandon this morning at 3 a.m., right at 2 inches. That's thick, and we've seen a lot of hail with this storm as it's moved across. That's where we are on everything. I'm making sure that we don't have anything else. We don't. All right, we'll be back. Angie Lewis says Lauderdale County is opening on time, and that's what I figured was going to happen with that. We have not been told anything about Clark County. With the silence on that, I would presume, if we haven't been told anything else, that it also opening on time as well. Should that change or any shape, form, or way, we will let you know. Again, thank y'all for joining. We'll be back very shortly as we monitor these storms. Newton County, y'all be prepared. There's heavy storms approaching, and then it will make its way on into the Meridian area and Kemper and these areas here to the east as it slowly moves across. Be weather alert this morning as we watch this, and we'll tell you more about what's coming up tomorrow as well. Thank y'all. We'll be back very soon with more weather coverage for you here at Scotty Ray's Weather.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: